Okay, I guess we're in part 2. Are we halfway through this?
Well, we're going to make it at least. We're not going to go through everything.
Oh, pretty close.
No, we're not going through everything.
All right, we'll see.
We'll continue on. A pair of Palawans that I need to change out the pen. But see, these are strings for the young, what I call growing out pens. This is this year's hatch. There's
You're insane. You're insane.
There are about 10 pins this way, and then another row over here,
Every time I come here, I just can't believe how big this place is.
and then another row in there. Okay, we're going to keep on going now and breathing. This is not that big of a place.
No, not really, no. I don't know anybody else that has this many birds over.
More Lewis Silvers. Poor old Nepal female that's got a leg problem.
She's so layered.
Yeah, but that leg's getting worse and worse, and I've got a replacement pair here.
So how often do you set up replacement pairs?
Well, with the Nepal College, I wasn't going to be raising any of them, but there's nobody keeping them pure, so I'm going to keep at least one pair. I've tried to keep 2 or 3 pair of everything, but I'm getting too old.
But as far as like rejuvenating your breeding stock and stuff, how often do you?
Well, the deal is, like, if I was going to keep that pair, or another pair, if something happened to her, I would not keep a young female. I would buy a female.
Right.
So I try never to keep 2 birds that I raise as replacements. I'll keep one and then buy an opposite. That way. But I found out too, though, sometimes it's better if you're getting something like Nepal from somebody, go ahead and buy a pair instead of just the female, because she may not show that there's some white-crested college in there. But if you get the male, then you can say, oh, I don't know about this stock.
That's an elimination.
Yeah. Because that's what happened with my Hume's bartail. I got some from here and some from there and just mixed them all together. And then all of a sudden I'm going, oops, somebody was mixed up.
Yep.
More Horsfields. Even though I have so many pairs of them, I didn't raise nothing last year. Edwards again. White crested college. They had hatched that one little male, and
Do you have aggression problems with them?
no. But that little baby would go from pen to pen and nothing ate him. In fact, he stayed in here with these brown-eared most of the time.
So these brown ear, they lay in the raised box too?
No.
They dig a hole in the ground?
They'll lay, and I'll make a teepee, and they'll lay on the ground in that teepee, and they'll usually cover up the eggs.
They bury them pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah. I kept them a couple of years, and I decided it wasn't for me because they just buried eggs all the time. Is there a lot of, this may sound like a stupid question, but I gotta ask some stupid questions sometimes. Is there hybrids on these between the blues and the browns?
There are, but they're not usually sold and all like that. Some people just do it. And
How do you tell the sex on them? Just the spurs?
that's mainly. But a female can have long spurs. I have trouble with eared pheasants in this wet, nasty area. In fact, it's best if I move them from one pen to another pen every so after a year or two. For some reason, if they stay in the same pen very long, I start having more problems. If I go and
As far as
take
like,
them,
what kind of problems?
just getting sick and just
Oh, so they're just eating and shitting in the same
yeah,
spot.
yeah. Even though I put fresh wood chips in there, it still is. If I take them out and move them to another, which that's on the agenda for this year. More grow out pens that are about empty. The last of the breeding pens, which I'm rebarking the pens and getting ready for setting up on the crested wands. The male that wants to kill me. That's all he wants to do is kill me. For me to feed water, I have to hit him over on this side, and then he'll stop at the gate when I run down there. Because he is not scared of a net, broom, or nothing.
Gun?
More fireback. This brown ear, I just got a female in for it the other day. I lost her, but I've been medicating her for a year and a half, and I'm so glad she finally died. And then there's grow out pens and grow out pens.
So it takes you how many hours to get through all this to feed?
I don't know. Right now, I can get everything done in about 6 or 7 hours.
So you got water going through everywhere over here? You got water lines?
I've got water lines and I bury them just deep enough where you don't see the PVC pipe. Then back over that way is rows and rows of grow out pens and breeder peacock pheasants and okay. Some of them are empty and I'm redoing them. And some birds have to be put in a temporary pen. But this is more of the grow out pens. Most of that's Palawans and some chachalakas and different things. In fact, I still have the mama hens with some of those Palawans. Palawans are they're just so much easier when you keep the mama hen with them. They just don't go nutty and crazy.
You deal with these jungle too?
Well, I got rid of my salons. Well, I've got one pair of salons left. I'm getting rid of my gray jungle fowls. I'm just keeping the greens, I think. More grow out pens, more grow out pens. Those pens are gray peacock pheasants. And you notice that instead of taking down the plastic for the summertime, I just semi-take it down. I used to take it down and I'm going, I can't do all that because I'll be putting up plastic. Setting up another pen for Rothschild peacock pheasants. Falling down pen. Some of these pens were made in the 70s.
Wow.
That's when you had good lumber.
Yep.
I mean, these were down at the old place, and I took them apart, or semi-apart, brought them up here, and that wood is still good. I've got some pens that I built 10 years ago that the wood is rotting,
Yeah,
and it's supposed to have been treated.
yeah, we got pressure treated that only lasted 3 years up at our place.
Okay. I just had heard this from somebody, and I'm not trying to do a commercial for Home Depot, but they say Home Depot is the only one that's got the treated wood like we used to get.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Because I was
So
just,
get higher
I'd
quality.
just go in there and get wood, you know, it said treated.
Yep, different grades. That's for your snacks, isn't it?
Well,
One's for the bird and one's for you?
yeah, well, I put these are on almost all the pens. This is when I walk by, and if there's an egg, I just put it in there. And then every once in a while, I'll put a bigger container to hold medication. Because if I'm treating a bird, or if it's even further down, if the medication is here, I'll remember to use it.
Yep.
If it's over yonder, I'll go, well, as soon as I finish, I'll go and get the medication. The next day you go, I didn't, you know, but if it's there, you go, well, it's
Yep.
right here.
Yep.
And that's another reason why I don't like automatic waters. Because if you're giving medication in the water, if you got a plain old waterer down there, it's easy to unscrew it, put the medication in there, put it in there. If you got automatic water, then you got to turn it off. You got to go get something else. They're not used to drinking out of that other container. So my automatic watering is I automatically water and feed every day, except the breeders with the dish pans, and some of them have gotten bad. There's more Rothschild, more bronze tails. You see, they've got a hollow log in there too.
Are they aggressive with the females, or?
Well, he was at, I'd lost the male that was going with this female, so when I put the new male in, he was a little aggressive to her, but now she's, but when I lost one time because during the summertime because she stayed in the hollow log too much. And so this time when she was staying in the hollow log, I just moved that water up, right up close there, and then I get the hard-boiled egg close by, and then pretty soon she's like, oh, well, he's not going to kill me. And he's not bad. I always have trees fall down. When that tree fell down, I had moved the birds from the pens the night before. Okay. Another big tree over there fell down, and I had moved the birds out from under the pens 10 minutes before the tree fell. I still get chill bumps. If I'd been in one of those pens, I might not.
Yep.
That's the starter pens, growing up pens. We may walk over there. Who knows?
So is this only guinea you're keeping is domestic guineas? Or?
Yep. And that's just for running around. Sitting hen pens. The chicken yards with all the motley chickens. This is where I hatch and raise all my young stuff. And more grow out pens. See, there's young Palawans further down. those are my replacement sitting hens, and I've got some more over there.
So how many hens do you have sitting at the peak of the season?
Oh, about 75. Well, I've tried to keep about 150 to 200 hens because I may have 50 of them sitting on eggs and 50 of them with baby chicks, or even more. Because I've got 78 of those smaller pens for the baby pheasants. So I may have one in each pen, and then they're moved to the grower. I don't know. It's just a lot. Just a lot. And of course, they all disappear when a stranger comes around. You might could grow this orange in North Carolina.
Oh, we got a bunch of those. That would be awesome. We got a bunch of the lemons there that we got last time.
Yeah, but the other said that. Okay, try this. Or
If I eat it, they don't have any seeds.
well, it's full of seeds. Got lots of seed in it. But they're not that good, but to have one of them that's winter hardy,
They're actually not too bad either.
no.
I mean, just kind of tastes like an old orange from a store.
Yeah, I mean it's they're not that great, but for an orange to take the cold, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
There's nope.
Yeah, we got a bunch of those started, and they're about that. They're probably 3 foot high now.
But now the quality of the fruit will vary from each tree.
This fruit tastes horrible.
Now y'all did. You have to. I will give you a sample before you leave. That's basically this in a nutshell. You can turn it.